On today's episode of Watch Jericho, we are here with my 2011 Dodge Dart. And if you guys remember, when we replaced that valve cover, we found sludge. So much sludge. The last engine I had that looked like this, the dealership said it had to be totaled. They said the engine has to come out and they would not work on it. Today, we're gonna try to fix that with BG Dynamic. What is going on, guys? I am Watch Jericho, and like I said, I'm here with my 2011 Dodge Dart that has 111,549 miles on the clock from the last time it was checked in on Turo, I think. Tyler Potter and I, of course, just got the valve cover gasket for this. We got the Mopar original valve cover gasket, and when we took the valve cover off, Tyler was like, he looked underneath and then went to put it back down. He was one of those things that we were like, you can't show this on video because the sludge was so bad that technically this engine is trash, like it's supposed to be totaled. But today we're gonna clean all of that out with BG Dynamic. Now you guys have seen Dynamic on the channel before. We used this on my 2011 V6 Camaro with the 3.6 LFX in it. This is the Dynamic engine cleaner. This is the rinse oil you run next. And then they also gave me everything else. BG did give us this product to do this car because they saw how bad it was and I was super excited to run it again. Now it's kind of an expensive treatment if you're buying this yourself, but I promise you, like, this is the sauce if you need to clean sludge out of your engine. Like, nothing works better, and you never see failures after the fact. You don't ever see the oil pickup screen get clogged up and the engine die like you would with some cleaners. This stuff really cleans out the engine. My LFX ran wonderfully after the fact, and we drove it around a bunch. We did other treatments on it, like the GDI fuel system cleaner. We did a lot on that, and it never had an issue, never missed a beat. And I knew the new owner, drove it to Colorado, had no problems after that. So I'm excited to do it on this, and it's kind of a process. They also gave me a can of MOA to put in the new oil. It's their oil supplement, and 44K to clean out the fuel system. Now I'll throw the video of what this thing looked like full of sludge up on screen so you guys can see it. I'm sure you remember it was only a few days ago, but it kind of looked like the varnish in this picture here, but at the same time, it was just stacked full of sludge, like that thick of sludge that we were just pulling off of the cam caps there. There's the crankcase before, crankcase after. You can see how clean everything is. And we've seen this before. Like, it's not like you're looking at marketing materials. Those are their instructions on how to do the service, but we have seen the results. So I'm excited to do it again today, and this should fix this Dart. It's the last thing I plan on doing maintenance-wise for a long time. So let's get this thing in the air, go to O'Reilly's and buy 3 oil filters and also oil for this, and then we can get busy doing the actual treatment. We might need to get this thing up to temp before we even start. Okay, install 44K in the fuel tank, which is the fuel treatment, bring engine to operating temp, then drain the engine oil, remove filter. Yeah, new filter, run Dynamic for 45 minutes at 3,000 RPM, watch the oil pressure, which we can only do on a scanner, and then drain Dynamic, install another filter, install the rinse oil, and then drain the rinse oil out, install another new oil filter, install the new engine oil, and run MOA with that. So that's what we're gonna do today. It takes a good bit of time because you have to sit there and change the oil over and over, but at the same time, you're not worried about anything clogging up the filter because you're changing it all the time, and by the end of it, the engine should look brand new inside. So let's get to it. Josh is over here trying to fix the pinion seal leak on the 33. So he just got the seal out, and we were going to O'Reilly's to get 3 filters, and he's going to O'Reilly's to get a seal. So I guess we're going to O'Reilly's. Let's do it. Let's go. Come on, it's too cold for this. Go, 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 go. Let's go find a bunch of oil filters. Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, you, baby, you.
57060 is what we need here. And 57. We gotta be right there, right? It's all over here. All right, we are out of here. We got all kinds of stuff. We found the oil seal Josh needed. Took a lot of work. All right, starting up the Dodge Dart. So we can get this thing up to temp. And then we need to pour in our 44K. So we'll open the sauce. And then I have the little BG funnel that goes on the can. These are super nice. If you guys have this funnel, make sure you're holding down on it with a finger. Otherwise it doesn't seal all the time. And then you'll get whatever fluid you're messing with all over you. I've done it too many times, honestly. That doesn't stay at all. All right, here we go. There we go. And I'm gonna go spray this out with some brake clean, and we'll let the Dart warm up. It's gonna be running for a little while, so I don't know, 5 minutes from now or something like that, we'll pull it onto the lift, or we can start pulling it on now, and then it'll be up to temp and we can start the first change. Looks about right to me. I'd say we're up to temp. This thing is nice and crispy inside. So we're ready to do our first oil change. So we're gonna drain the oil down after we put this thing up in the air and start to run the actual dynamic treatment. Well, this thing is way cleaner underneath than I ever expected it to be. Sure, it's missing the splash guard here, but it's dry. I don't get it. There's a little seepage at the back of the pan, and that's the only thing I'm really seeing here. The exhaust is in great shape. Maybe I have been underneath this thing once, but it is weirdly clean. I'm impressed with how clean it is. We are ready to drain down our oil, and I'm also super impressed by the oil change on this because the filter is easy to unscrew, which is getting rare these days. Super easy to get to. And let's see, open up everything. Let's see if we can do this without getting any oil on us. Always the challenge. All right, here we go. We're gonna try to do it electric. We're gonna try to do it with the old cordless tools so it saves even more time. Look at that! Now if I don't move this at all, we're gonna nail it every time. Typically you end up overshooting it and splashing it everywhere, but... Well, first it's real thin because it's 0W20 and it's at engine temp, operating temp. But also it's black. That oil is nasty. Nasty, nasty oil, look at that. The light won't even shine through it. They did run an extended life filter, but it is probably a, like we were saying before, 10,000 mile interval at least. All right, we're gonna pull our filter. This engine oil's hot, but these gloves, it's not burning my hand. Kind of impressed. Kiss our new filter. Back on we go. Time to fill this thing up. Is anyone else like, I'm always pumped to use dynamic. And we're just gonna pour in the whole bottle. Boom. Just to double check. Okay, dynamic engine cleaner. Who's ready to get dynamic? For a second there, I thought I was pouring in the rinse oil. I was getting scared. All right, we're gonna start this thing up. First things first. And then you have to leave it in neutral and running at 3,000 RPM. So to get to 3,000 RPM, I'm gonna use this piece of wood. Here we go, 2,000. 2,800, 3,000, and we're gonna fire this thing up so we can monitor the oil pressure. We started this at 437, so actually I'll just set a timer for 44 minutes. Get our timer out of here. 44, come on. All right, we got a timer set, and oil pressure is in 444 kPa. Hey, convert 444 kPa to PSI.
Okay, I found this on the web for converting.
Wow, this thing says it has 60 pounds of oil pressure. That is insane. I was not expecting that out of this car. But we got it running at 3,000 RPM. We've got 440 kPa, 450 kPa oil pressure right there. And we've got a timer set. It's warming up. We're at 424. I had to reorganize the pedal holding situation. I know BG has tools for this, but this is my tool for it. It's a 2x4 stacked on top of another piece of wood, and it's working pretty well. Holding about 3,000 RPM right now, and it's been on for, let's take a look, 31 minutes left. So we'll let that keep right on running. And then the BG protection plan, I did want to talk about that. Vehicles under 50,000 miles can be 100% covered for free under the free lifetime BG protection plan with the purchase of any BG service. So you have to adhere to the service intervals and keep using BG services. Yep, and that's basically it. So it does have to be under 50,000 miles. So this thing is not 100% covered, but yeah, there's pre-owned vehicle protection, all kinds of good stuff. I'll throw a link in the description below for Dynamic and for the BG protection plan, and you guys can check it all out if you're interested. We actually ended up setting a check engine light, which scared me to death because it cut the throttle and locked this thing back into an idle. And I turned the key off and on and it came back. It took the throttle out. As soon as we did a key on off, it came right back, and we saw plenty of oil pressure. I was a little worried for a minute there, but 240 kPa at 3,000 RPM, if I could get it there. Yeah, 240 at 3,000. It's holding there, so everything seems cool. And I went and read the codes, and the transmission said an implausible data received code, just from it being at idle and neutral for so long, I think. So I need to clear that code, but other than that, we're good to go. We are just about at the end of the cycle. About 2 minutes left. We'll kill the engine, do this next oil change. All right, this time, there's no room for error because this is gonna be so hot. That oil is up to temp this time. Here we go. Hopefully I got this right. If you guys saw, that stuff going in was super thin and also like completely clear. So we'll shine a light through it while it's coming out, and you can see how much sludge and dirt's coming out of this thing. Wow, look how hot it is. Can you even see through it at all? I don't think, maybe just a little bit?
No.
Wow. Anyway, this is all the trash coming out of the engine. Try and get this filter off while it's 200 degrees. Wow, it's hot. This is kind of nice though. It's a little cold in the shop. So the steam warms your hands. We've got our new filter on. We got all the old Dynamic drained out. Now it's time for the rinse oil. This stuff is actually clear. Look how, this is absolute see-through oil. Pretty crazy. Time to start this thing up again. We've got our rinse oil poured in. Back to neutral. And I gotta rig up my stick situation here. I'm definitely gonna have to detail this after using 2x4s. And just like that, it's been 20 minutes. I'm ready to pull the wood out of the car. Let's see if we can get it out of here for real. I ended up using a gigantic 2x4 to make it all the way to the back of the seat. All right, we can shut this thing down and drain out the rinse oil. And this time, we didn't have any problems. I left that check engine light on, and I figure if it's already set, it's not gonna go into limp mode again, because obviously the car is gonna try to get you home. So we'll clear the code right after this. Rinse oil coming out. I didn't tighten this too much, so it should come right off. Get ready to run. Ah, there we go. Look, check out the difference. I'll post all of these back to back to back. But you remember what we started with. Mm-hmm. And this is beautiful, so yeah, anyway, there you go. That's the rinse. There you go, that was it. We are ready to fill our oil here. Got the new filter on, went to the wicks for the last change there. I'm gonna tighten that pretty tight because it was dripping just a little bit. Not on the floor. It was only dripping while we were running this, and I don't think I had it tight enough. So we should be good to go now. Get this filter housing wiped off. There we go. Ready to put some oil in this car. I'd love to Bluetooth this, but I think we're gonna go ahead and use a funnel. I know, it's a cop-out. I know there were a few comments where people were wondering if I decided to use funnels for 2022. Believe me, I absolutely did not. I still hate funnels, we have a bad relationship. But I am doing it on this because I would have used the BG thing, the little pour spout, and that would have made this easy. But I figure I need the funnel for the Syntec. And it's got a really tiny oil fill hole on this. This isn't like those nice GM V8s. So this is BG MOA, and this is their engine oil supplement. It says it's always active, keep clean technology, controls the formation of sludge and varnish, and retains the performance throughout the service interval. It's resistant to evaporative oil loss and contains a potent detergency and antioxidant system to prevent engine oil degradation and thickening. There's that. Let's pour in our oil. We're gonna run O'Reilly Syntec 0W20. Here's our first check, and we get to see the oil dipstick, see how that looks. And I think that looks brand new. Look at all the writing on that. All right, now we're actually gonna check it. All right, right here we are looking through the Pcv Breather Hole, and you can see most of this has cleaned up to be nice, bright, shiny metal, and there's still a little bit of sludge left in there. I mean, obviously this thing was caked with sludge. And here's down in the oil fill, and let's take a look down inside the actual engine. Take a look at that. It's tough to see much, but you can see that that metal all looks super clean. So we can see the top of one of the cam towers right there, and those were covered in so much sludge. And if you look underneath that, you can see some of the bare metal down in there. I think this thing looks incredible inside. So I'd love to pull the valve cover off of this thing and show you guys what it looks like. But as you know, we just spent something like $50 on that gasket, and of course it's RTV'd in. If we pull that gasket off, it's trash and I have to start over. So it's a big waste of money, and it took like a week to get the parts. So I mean, we could do that, but I'd really hate to waste all of that money. So that's why I'm not showing you inside the valve cover. I know it looks great. I'll show you guys the results from the Camaro because it looked great. So I'll throw that up right now. You also got to see the progression of all the oils as they came out, the original oil, and then the dynamic, which gets all the trash out, and then the rinse oil, which comes out sort of clean, and this new oil that's in here. I bet it looks incredible. So this thing should be good to go for a long time. I probably will change the oil again at around 3,000 miles from now. So at least we'll know what happens once it goes out on a rental. Well, there you go. That is removing the sludge from a Dodge Dart. Really can't take it apart again. So that's why we can't show you the cam towers and everything like that, but you guys did see all the bare metal on the camera. And I mean, it literally took it back to looking new from what I can see. So maybe one day if we have to replace this valve cover gasket again, I'll be able to show you. But until then, you'll have to look at the Camaro or any of BG's material for reference. So this thing is ready to go back on the road. It's actually supposed to run out in the morning. That's a Dodge Dart, all fixed up. That is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop.watchjericho.com for cool shirts just like this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. And I will talk to you next time. Now I have to get this car out of here. And that seems like a mess. I don't even know where the keys are to my truck. So we're just gonna leave this right here for tonight. And I'll deal with it in the morning. But I think we got it solved. No more sludge. Pause for train identification.